Yo YouTube, what's good? This is the Unexpected Wonder. As you can see, I'm doing yet another Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic section review. It's chapters 30 to 35 in the manga this time. And I gotta say this, it's like seriously, I should be accustomed to it by now. I shouldn't do this every time. But man, I applaud, I congratulate when something is done very well, when something is good, when something is great, when it's done phenomenally. Shinobu Ohtaka, every single section, this man does it right. Seriously, it starts off slow. And it's like, yo, you know, except for the first section, right? So it starts off slow and it's like, yo, no, I'm not feeling this, man. What you doing? And then just boom, he gets into it within the third chapter of the section to the fourth and the fifth. Every single time, bombshell after bombshell after bombshell, revelation after revelation. I mean, I'm 35 chapters in and I haven't found a bad chapter yet. And as much as I love One Piece, for those who don't know, man, check out my One Piece channel. I mean, my One Piece videos. As much as I love One Piece, I can't say 35 chapters in that I've never had a problem with a single chapter of One Piece. But yes, I can say that about Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. Never. Never. Even on the slow chapters, never. Because there's always something there. Always two things there that were important. Always. Never, no filler in this manga. At least to this point. Zero filler. You know, and I gotta say this. Doggone plot progression, A+. You know, storyline, A+. Character development, A. You know, battles, I say B. Doggone, this man just does this, and he does it not only well, but very well, excellently. With all that, let me get to it. Again, with the synopsis of how each chapter was. You had doggone chapter 30 being a conclusion chapter. You had chapter 31, an introduction chapter. It was very much intro. Chapter 32 was chapter 32. It was a setup chapter. Chapter 30. I'm trying to think. Am I thinking right? Oh my. Shoot. This is chapters 30 to 35. My bad. I mean 31 to 35. Oh yeah. I'm confusing myself. So my bad. Rescrap that. Chapter 31 was the doggone conclusion chapter. Chapter 32 was the setup chapter. Chapter 33 was an action chapter. Chapter 30. No. Chapter 30. Oh my gosh. 31 conclusion. 32 introduction. 33 setup. 34 action. 35 revelation. Dang, man, my bad. Chapters are starting to blend together because this is a whole Morgiana arc, so they would blend together. So I was confusing myself. All right, so let me get to it real fast. 31, like I said, it wasn't much to it. Okay, Morgiana, and like we all knew, that was Aladdin. And we find out how Aladdin and the caravan got captured and blah, blah, blah. Morgiana breaks up in there. And, you know, they look like they're about to get locked in. But lo and behold, fate intervenes yet again. Ugu-kun and his flute right there. Boom! Aladdin stomps the thieves. So it was Morgiana and Aladdin victory. And they meet again, which was beautiful. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Like I said, I applaud Ohtaka for how he took this avenue. I was not expecting this, but I like it. I like it a lot. And so, you know, there's the party and whatever. And the thing about it was that got me, that stuck out. Again, it was the fate. There was the thing. There's no mere coincidences, okay? And especially in this Magi world, no, it was fate, bro. It was fate. And then also, you know, at the end, there, you know, after the 5 days, you know, after the party, there was a comedy with the party, the feast, and all that. And we see some more character development of Morgiana, which I thought was very much needed. Ohtaka applaud you for developing Morgiana, man. She's becoming a more and more beast character, increasingly beast character. And so, you know, the end of the chapter, we have Morgiana and Aladdin heading to Baobab after 5 days of traveling with the caravan. And again, the caravan, you know, we saw those two young ladies. They again met Aladdin. So, you know, Morgiana and Aladdin nickname her more. She wasn't too cool about it, but it is what it is. Chapter 32. We see the introduction of Sin. Even in that chapter, you kind of already knew who he was. Anyway, especially since he was a rich dude and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, introduction to Sin. Sin gets, he gets robbed. And he meets, naked, he's got a leaf over, you know, his groin. He meets Morgiana and Aladdin, and then Aladdin's clothes. Oh, man, you gotta love the comedic relief. But anyway, they travel, and they go to Baobab, which is actually a port city, which is the capital of the whole country and blah, blah, blah nation. Which, you know, trying to remember how this goes. Anyway, he, you know, apparently Sin is rich, and he gives Aladdin and Morgiana, they get to the hotel, and he meets his two assistants. We see a soldier gladiator dude, and then we also see a counselor, you know, wise person. And, you know, the wise person said, yeah, we thank you for for helping our master out. We're gonna give you a room and blah, blah, blah. And then he meets, and then, of course, no surprise, Sinbad. Sin Sama is actually Sinbad. Did that really shock most people? Nah, I don't think so. Especially if you've done a little bit of research in the Magi by this point. Anyways, so you know, they're talking about, you know, you Jafar. Well, I don't mean to leak it, but the counselor dude is like, yo, you're supposed to be a king. You're supposed to, you know, pay, you know, more attention to yourself and blah, blah, blah. And then we get a little drop with Aladdin and Morgiana. Aladdin mentions he's looking for this dude Alibaba, and then the servant lady's going, you know, they're in their room, and the servant lady's like, ugh. And then she mentions the worst criminal, the Wonder Man, the worst criminal, Alibaba. Come on. You all knew that was Alibaba. Come on. We all knew that. Anyways, moving on to 33. Chapter 33. Again, it was, you know, a bunch of information. So, Sin, you know, we find out he's a king. And he's really a king. Even though he's an easy, loving, going guy. He reminds me a lot of Monkey D. Luffy in this regard. Easy, loving, going guy. But, man, this dude takes charge. And the epic moment, you know, he's talking to the kings of Baobab, you know, and they have a domestic problem. They talk about cutting off trade relations. He's like, yo, my countries depend on trade. We can't be having this foolishness. Y'all talk about cutting off our trade. And then so, you know, they talk about domestic situation with the fog troop, you know, the gang of thieves and everything. And Alibaba's like, epic, badass moment. Alibaba slit, you know, his knife sword down. He's like, I'll take care of it. And, oh my goodness. I mean, not Alibaba, my bad. I'm thinking Alibaba. It was Sinbad who did that. King Sinbad. The whole knife sword thing. Man. Epic badass, man. And so, you know, we switch scenes, and then, Aladdin wakes up in this afternoon, noontime, and he's talking to Morgiana about what the lady said last night about, you know, the people, and he's like, yo, I don't think it can be Alibaba. That's not the Alibaba I know. And Morgiana's like, and Morgiana, my goodness, I'm loving it. She's clever. Like, she thinks she's she's a lot of things. I'm loving Morgiana. And she's like, yeah. You know, and I'm here, you know, I'm glad, you know, I want to meet Alibaba too, but, you know, I think it might be the dude. So anyway, they have lunch with Sinbad, and, you know, Aladdin, of course, he reveals with Ugo-kun, you know, they're talking, and he reveals Ugo-kun, and Sinbad's like, oh, you're a Magi. And Aladdin's like, you know what a Magi is? And then they get the old explanation of Sinbad talks about what a Magi is and all that jazz. And he's not one, apparently. Though, but okay. He says he's not one. So, you know, and Jafar's talking about tools, you know. Apparently, Sinbad doesn't have his magical fangs with him. And oh, when we get the big backdrop, Sinbad's like, yo, I've conquered 7 dungeons. 7 since that in the first one, age of 14. And he was the boy they were talking about, the blue-haired boy that conquered the first one. This Sinbad dude, man, and he's not even a Magi apparently. Dude, and we get the names Jafar. I'm loving Ohtaka for doing these names, and then we get, Sinbad's like, Morgiana, you recognize he's another finalist. His name's Musar, I believe, something like that. Murar, my bad, Murar. And so yeah, she's like, oh, shocked, another finalist. And yeah, and I mean, I'm not too surprised. The dude was decked out in a gladiator and soldier outfit. But I love how, Morgiana showing her cleverness, and a Sinbad the comedy where he goes, Murar, unlike you who use brute strength, she's actually quite clever. I thought it was funny. Anyways, moving on, and then he poses the question of to Aladdin, since he ain't really got his magical stuff. Sinbad's like, yo, Aladdin, can you help a brother out here? You're a Magi, help a brother out with this whole thieving situation. And then of course we'll help Morgiana get going home. And this is going into chapter 34, it's the answer or whatever. And and Morgiana's like, in 34, Morgiana like, yo, I'm trying to get going home back to the Dark Continent, so I think we should do this thing. And Aladdin's like, yeah, I think you're right, I gotta be Alibaba. And so they make a deal. And Sinbad, I don't think, some may say it's chauvinistic. I don't think it was chauvinistic when Sinbad's like, yo, you being a girl, you might be strong, you might be a finalist, but I don't want you to get hurt. I thought it was a gentleman thing, personally. Some may say it's chauvinistic. I thought it was a gentleman thing. But she stomps down, and she shows how strong she is. And Sinbad's like, whoa. And she's like, yo, I can do work. And Aladdin concurs with that. He's like, she took down the whole thieves' fortress by herself. And she freed her slaves. And she's like, Sinbad's like, whoa. The thieves who took down who captured a Magi? Yo. These kids are where it's at. So, he apparently the plan was they break into 2 groups. Musar and Sinbad take this one spot, this merchant's house, and Aladdin, Morgiana, and Jafar are taking this nobleman's house. And so, we see the whole thing with Sinbad and Musar, and theirs weren't exactly attacked by the fog troop. They were attacked by hungry, starving, oh my goodness, peasant villagers from the doggone town. And I mean, I didn't cry, but now thinking back doing it and the actual sinking in while I'm doing this review, it's like, yo, Ohtaka, man, I applaud. Like, yo, dude, you doing this for real. Like, it's not just an adventure, it is in our face reality stuff, man. Poverty. And it's like, this is doing it right. So it's kind of a Robin Hood theme going on here. And Sinbad's like, yo. And then his epic statement at the end, like, I think this country is beyond saving. That was just like, whoa, man. It done got serious now. And then 35 is pretty much, we see what it is and what it ain't. It doesn't really even need to be explanation. But since I'm doing a review, I'm going to try to explain. Hallucinating. Aladdin. He thinks he sees Alibaba, but he doesn't actually. Morgiana, she jumps up because she's just beast like that. And Jafar's talking to her. He's like, you see, you have a key sense. And we're just getting more and more stuff about this finalist clan, yo. Like, this finalist clan. They're the group, they're the group that don't need any magic, don't need it. They just got that physical prowess, yo. And so, we have that, and then the fog troop actually does show up and then kicking some ass. I mean, Jafar, he showed me some stuff, man. I'm like, yeah, okay, you ain't just some chump advisor. I like you. And so, anyway, Ugu Kun's blocking away, and then Alibaba does show up. That's all that needs to be said. Except, come forth Amon. I hope y'all like it. Have a beautiful day, y'all. Peace. This is the Unexpected One signing out.